We solved one cold case, and now it's time to solve another. XSET versus BBG is what we have on the docket, and this one is going to be quite interesting, Bala. These two teams have a big redemption arc that they've both have been kind of building their own little trajectory, and, you know, BBG has kind of started on the right foot, beating Sentinels in the open qualifier.
Yeah, and it looked good. The addition of Poach and Rarkar that has started for them looks very strong. I mean, taking out Sentinels is no small feat. So we'll have to see if that carries through. For XSET, you're talking about how, you know, they're starting their redemption arc. Yeah, they fizzled out of Masters, but they have been one of the most consistent teams over this entire period. Maybe even more consistent than some of the likes like LG and such. But we'll have to see. Right now, they already started back in Challengers, so we get to see them again, and we get to see the start.
Let's talk a little bit about XSET, talk about this lineup. One of the things that I personally want to highlight that, you know, in doing the research on this team, like, you know, we've got star players, we got Aaron Pure, BCJ. His agent pool is insane. He plays on every map a different agent. And I know that he's got more in the tank. This guy is so flexible in what he offers to his team. It's insane that you can just, okay, we need to change our strategy, Astro's meta. We did put it in your agent pool. The fact that you can just be so flexible as to do that means that this team has the ability to produce a lot of interesting strategies that teams may not be prepared for.
Then the ever consistent BCJ, Pure, their Jet player, Thwifo, their Rockin', their Sentinel player. It's kind of consistent in terms of the themes. The double duelist thing is very strong. Moving on to BBG, this is new. This is slightly fresher, and for a lot of teams, yes, it is new freshness. But for XSET, it's not. BBG, they picked up Rarkar, they picked up Poach. Rarkar is now their Jet Op, Will, their Duelist, Critical, their Initiator player, and then Bure, of course, their Killjoy / Cypher / Sentinel, whatever you want to write it off as. They definitely look strong. I mean, the fundamentals are there with their new IGL Poach.
Yeah, they have to get that dynamic up to speed and fast, because I know that Rob Wiz played a pretty important role keeping the team spirits high, being that veteran player on the team, keeping them all kind of corralled. But now, let's have a look at who we think and who we are going to identify are the key players to watch on each team in this upcoming matchup.
Yeah, it's friends on either side, Thwifo and Poach. They've been friends for so long. We got the two Fortnite transplants, and Thwifo leading the way for XSET, in some cases IGLing. And same thing for Poach. You never would have expected it for these two guys to be the IGLs of their team, but hey, they fit, and they fit quite well. We'll definitely be watching on these two, because I think that's going to be one of the most interesting things. And for them, they're definitely thinking about it. And all the viewers, I know you guys are thinking about it too.
Yeah, the interesting dynamic is the difference between IGLing as a Sentinel and IGLing as a controller. As a controller, you set up the smokes, you set up how the plays, how you want them to unfold. But as a Sentinel, your job is a little bit more gathered around gathering that intel and playing around the intel that you've set up. You know, if it's a Killjoy, the Nano Swarms, the Alarm Bots, how do you want to set up the kind of hit in on the defense? And as a Cypher, what type of lurking plays are you developing? How are you setting up those cages and those tripwires? So it'll be interesting to see those two play styles clash, but we'll get to see what the maps look like in just a sec, as we have the pick and ban ready for you guys around the bend.
Yeah, this one was always going to be interesting for me, because both teams have a perma ban of Icebox, and because of that, they get to basically the team that got the second ban, which was in this case BBG, gets to have free reign on what they don't want to play against the other, right? So it was BBG who banned Bind, XSET banned Icebox, and we get the exact same. If you were watching us, we were watching Cloud9's game, exact same map pool.
Yeah, Ascent selected by Built by Gamers, Haven picked by XSET, and then we'll be on Split as the decider. Now, both teams very comfortable on Haven. That's going to be probably a very interesting match, you know, considering Cloud9 in the previous series was kind of the leader in the Haven statistics moving into that series. This time, it's a little more of an even footing, at least on Haven, but Ascent is a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, I mean, we saw actually both these maps were the maps that BBG ended up taking Sentinels on. All right, the first one was Ascent, the second one was Haven. So same exact story. Hopefully they studied those. We'll get to see. Here's the comps out of both sides. We do have that Astra pick. It is Aaron. And on Ascent, we did his back to his duelist roots, but it's not Jet, it's Phoenix.
Yeah, like I said, this guy's very flexible. He can play a lot of different ways that can help fit within the team and give them a dynamic that they want to work with. So Pretty interesting to see how that pans out. We'll see their Astra use come to the fold. Not going to see Astra on BBG quite yet. A little bit more of a standard composition. We get to see Bjor on his Killjoy. Man, boy, do I love Bjor on Killjoy. This man is probably one of the best in North America, hands down.
Yeah, we also got to keep tabs on Critical as the Sova on BBG. He's just so strong over and over and over. He was definitely one at the beginning of 2021 where people were like watching and making like and learning from quite a lot, and also being on the receiving end of some of those shots that he's able to hit. Ridiculous. Poach has moved over towards Omen on this team, one of the characters that he said doesn't really play too much, but he fits in the mold of whatever and he's enjoying it. Don't forget that 1 versus 4 against Sentinels from him. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that Poach form, but we know for sure it's going to be a quite exciting XSET versus BBG no matter what.
Let's talk a little bit about the kind of polar differences of this composition, and I think it was the story of the last series as well. Having the Astra versus not having the Astra. Poach not really putting it in his repertoire of controllers yet. It's still impactful. You've got the Paranoia, you've got the smokes, you've got the rechargeable smokes. The Astra, so cost efficient at creating control with how much your utility costs and how you can play mind games with the conditioning. We saw that on this exact first map. This time it's going to be played a little bit differently.
Interesting from Weeded, just stopping the Tiles push and also putting pressure on them to re-clear in mid when they do eventually come here. No drone from Critical to be able to do so. Weeded is going to jump spots. The cat smoke, they're going to go through it though. Maybe a dart? No, it fades just as they get there. But there's so many nanostorms on the door if they end up pushing through it. It might be a heaven split though. The turret will be there as well. It won't be. Straight through the door they go and into the eye of the beholder. Your pops it and it slows it right down.
Yeah, now that the nanoswarms have subsided, they can finally start to push in. Poach has been taking his sweet time wrapping around through A main, and now they've got the control. They've got the spike planted. How do XSET retake the site? They don't have the hot hands anymore from We Did. They still have the nanoswarms here from Thwifo. Or rather, they don't. So they don't really have a lot of kind of clearing utility. They just have to go in dry. There are players pushing in for the tree room. This is going to start to be a factor. Poach is the one that was supposed to stop them, but he can't. Down to one final player, Bjor. He's got a friendly little turret there to help him. But unfortunately, XSET just way too strong.
Absolutely clean. The stars put down on the site from Aaron. Forced them to be in uncomfortable positions. They all come swinging through the doors. All 5 were on site, it felt like. Rifle with the delay to start things off. Didn't really end up catching too much. It did split them up, but eventually here's the retake. The smoke ending up forcing one player to go through. Flawless pistol round for XSET. Things look good to start. I like the ideas on their side, especially we did in the beginning of that round, and the timing as well. Straight through the star. They don't care about it at all. That's a complete difference from what we were watching from Cloud9 side. When you had BCJ and Rossi. They jump through, take it over, waste the star. Now B-main is not going to be able to slow for them. Back towards mid, they clear bottom, but the drone tags Bjor. So they actually have a lot of information. I think that drone got all 4 of them, and they're going to kind of run the same idea. Back up Cat this time, though, all the way up towards A. The big difference, Will, lurking in mid. We can catch a gun and rotate out. Things could be really, really good. It's a double tree setup as well for XSET. Purer will have to be the guy. And he's down as well, so he's going to be full committed to this.
Down, so the double setup in tree. A little bit more challenging to hold on to. Pure finds one down to 74, but he's currently being pushed by the classic. Rockart does end up finding its mark, but now players from Tree finally join the party. We did find Stu. Quickly does get traded. The lurking play around through mid will get stuffed. Rockart 33 HP with a Spectre. We're going to just do some extra bonus damage, right? That's really the goal here. Wall goes down. Spike picked up. Does find one. Definitely a little bit more of a doable scenario. BCJ is low. Thwifo pushes forward because he's a little bit healthier, but unfortunately little bit greedy for that spike credit, you know.
They got it. That's all it is. You got it. One of the things you also have to remember is how the ult points actually stack up. Is the money worth it in this case? Probably. You don't have any of these ults coming online except for we did already. The power of Phoenix and the 6 ult orbs. 4 and 1, yes. And it's time. He's got to run it back. He's positioned in mid right now. Not quite sure where his teammates want to go. Looks like the call is made that they're going to walk down mid. Potentially be able to fight here. And they've got the stars in position as well. Top mid to smoke maybe. And tiles as well. So they're going to be able to take mid control. And I'm not sure if there's anything to really fight back against this except for the start. There's the ult. They're going to go into tiles with it. Full control. Your stuffs him, thankfully. And Poach also responds as there's the B main push happening. Don't care about what you're doing. All done from him, but we did still going.
Here's the curveball. This is going to be a little bit problematic. Poach, though. Poach, my goodness. Finds the trade down to 2 for XSET. Smokes go down. Thwifo in a cheeky position. Unfortunate that now that's the spike. This is so doable now for XSET. Pure has joined the fray around the catwalk side. Thwifo now holding and spraying across. Pure re-peeks. Finds the pick onto Critical. They still have all this control. Now that the smoke subsides, they just have one more player to deal with. It's Will. Doesn't realize Thwifo, the athleticism is there. Jumping on the box, jumping on the bike, and jumping on the dub. That's 3 in a row for XSET.
That mid control was spectacular from XSET. Even though they ended up getting shut down initially on that ult, they could still walk through. Don't forget they had to smoke the star from so deep at the top of mid. Critical's not fast enough with the drone to be able to actually see if Thwifo was going to be pushing up after this. He leaves it a little too early. Poach left all on his lonesome. They get the spike.
Get out of my way.
They go forward. This time, a lot of mid presence here from BBG. There's just pistols. They're going to try to walk through. No. They actually opt to just play one in the smoke. They don't know what's on the other side.
Ouch. 77 and 45. Will and Bjor get quite injured. This is the pistol for them. Economy is seen better days. Except this time just waiting for XSET. Sorry. Except this time waiting for BBG to make the move, and they finally do, pushing up through B main. There's gonna be the first pick onto Aaron. That might open things up. Still a player on site. It's BCJ. One at a time, Sheriff after Sheriff. Now they've got 2 upgrades, and there's 2 players remaining.
Still got Poach in mid. He's going on the timing as well. Going to start hunting through markets. Bjor is in a place that he can help out if that does come to fruition, but both are in spawn. Flash is here, potentially for Will, so that they could peek with Critical and Markar as well. There it is. The swing for Bjor too, it's really good, and Poach is on the backside as well. Well played, good timing. But most importantly, the shots connect on those entries for BBG. We get the B site and the round.
I think we're in for a series where we should not be discounting the eco rounds whatsoever, because I was like, you know what, XSET, they're chilling back, laid back, sipping mimosas halfway through the day. You just say, don't relax yet. Yeah. We're just getting started.
I mean, hey, after the Markar whiffs on the knives, I was like, oh yeah, we can relax. This round's gonna be over. But then he comes in with a kill. Will comes in with a kill. I think Bjor also got one as well. All 3 down instantly. Yeah, BBG is well aware how to play against Aaron's Astra here. They are not deterred whatsoever after a single star gravity well, what have you, come through. Also, none of that deep lane B main or A main pushes with the paranoias are possible without this omen here. So their flashes and potential there. Slightly different, but it is 4 buckies for XSET. This could be dangerous. Walking into 4 players right now.
Still seeing something quite similar for BBG holding default on tiles. Just a little bit of a mirrored anticipation we saw in the first series, but they're going to be going up through mid. There's an alarm bot there. They finally get rid of, and now XSET a little bit of a position to anticipate the movements here. One comes easy for BCJ. He finds another before going down. That might just be the ticket. We did now starting to push forward. He's getting aggro onto the site. Now just falls onto the 1v1 spike being planted. Now the onus is on Aaron. Smokes go down. There's going to be the swing. Sees Will right behind the double box. Shot's good. Now it's a little bit of a thrifty round for XSET. They came in with Buckies and came out with the dub. BBG have to be kicking themselves how tough that hit into B was.
Yeah, I think they realized the difficulty that A was going to be, and then they shifted their way back over towards the mid take, but at that point they had not cleared B main. There's a lot of potential there for XSET to fight back from both sides, to fight back as they try to come out of market, but to swing out of spawn, not let them get extra space. Fight them on the choke point, and it works. VCJ coming up huge, though, with those first two. He was the last one in that situation, so. Once again, approach Sean B main. They stopped to kind of place that star that they've been doing. Reedit is very close, and he's got run it back. If Pure can do something for him here, he might be able to chase them all down. They clear main, they get the orb, and they back off.
Definitely a much slower map. Much more patient. Trying to gather intel first. Well, guess what? BCJ finds a little something, something. Hunter's Fury sends it flying. Not going to find anything but the tag. That's Poach. Gets injured down to 70, loses the armor as well. The spike's heading on over. Weeded still playing close contact by the Arches. Does get traded by Will. Pure backside behind the dice, hoping to get lucky, but still, it's Thwifo that comes to the rescue. Spike down, and now all up to Bjor. Trying to figure out where this player may be. Behind the boathouse, he appears, and Bjor will take him down. Now the 1v2. Lockdown available. If he plays this in a specific way, he might be able to put it to use, but has the turret as his second man in the lobby. Now here comes the most important part. Thwifo with the body peek. Pure now back towards the wine cellar, dropping down on site. This is going to be a little bit more close. Pure can't swing, and he does so. Ring around the rosie's going to come up empty with no pockets full of posies.
Love how Thwifo played it up top in heaven there to spot him coming around the corner. No shot that he's going to end up dying in that situation. And of course, dancing around. Pure always has the ability to escape that situation as well. Around locked up, even as we found Bjor getting the kill onto BCJ all the way back on B. No worries there as long as it's played correctly, and it is. XSET up forward now. BBG definitely starting to fall behind a little bit. It's not like their approaches aren't working fully. I mean, they are getting some space when the time comes, but when their hits are happening, it feels like XSET is ready. That first shot from Weeded, and then Thwifo coming in at just the right time on the rotation.
You should run.
It's a very interesting lockdown. XSET still have the ability to play contact towards spawn. It is smoked off now, which gives Bjor the space, but you see like this, like BCJ still has an angle in towards mid, so that lockdown, while used to clear the tree room, there's still a lot of players here. Now they've got a counter lockdown, and Thwifo, it's going to go down, makes it a little bit more challenging, and unfortunately it doesn't go punished. So now it'll get its full duration and potentially even detain players as XSET defend the site with honor. Will has to escape the lockdown, the counter lockdown that was used to push him away. And Weeded finds 3 on the round to seal the fate. 5 rounds up is XSET. And they're looking so good.
So many ults from XSET there. It was just so rough to get anything done. I do like that lockdown in mid. It clears tree. It allows for the A split to come basically scot-free. No worries in the world. And that's what they did. The slight feints from Bjor up into market to show them, hey, it could also be top mid if you're not careful. But then the lockdown cosmic divide combo from both Aaron and Twyfo. Very hard to get back through. Nice shot from Pure to open things up. That's too easy. Combination with the dart, by the way, from BCJ. There's a flash through. Pure is in a little bit of trouble because in the same gravity well, but they've got the ways to fall off. And once again, another dart spots everything. Poach is left by himself with the spike again. Maybe he has TP to get across mid, but if he doesn't spend that as his team tries to poke up Cats, the idea is if they get space, they'll go join him, and he will. They're rotating. Aaron's here now. Twyfo's up top. Weeded still sitting with the flash, ready to go off. Is turret contact? Yep.
30 seconds left.
BBG can get this spike down. They have the Hunter's Fury to use in the post plant. First initial pick comes up big. Weeded still trying to dissuade them. Some pre-fire shots, but now they've got the spike down. 4v4. Despite XSET members being here, now they have to get involved. They can no longer sit idly on the heaven side. The flash through shots good. Still one more player down low. Poach with 2 sheriff shots up towards heaven. The final tag
Player standing.
finds another. BCJ does get traded. Aaron now the last player standing. Critical with 1 HP. One wrong move, and he's as good as gone, and that's a problem now because you lost your Omen, you lost your IGL, and you're about to lose your head too. Shots here for Aaron. The pre-fire shots, he goes hunting, and he comes up with more than his family can eat.
Sketch on the timing.
Oh!
I thought so.
That's
Super
tight.
sketch there. Tried it, but critical with the shoulder peak just buys enough time and is able to back up when he realizes. So just that slight movement, and that's the 0.5 seconds that you need to win the round. There you go. BBG on the board. That's the Thrifty as well. Well done. Poach coming up huge with the 2 sheriff kills underneath heaven. It's going to be attack after that for BBG. Try to figure out what's going on. A tactical timeout. XSET seem to be in the driving seat for sure. 6-2. Their sight holds on both sides so far have proved to be very effective. Their aggressive set plays as well have worked out quite nicely. Disappointing we haven't seen more of it, but that time it was Pure with the op finding the easiest of kills on the entry there in B main with just the combination dart from BCJ. Left Bjor looking up in the sky as the op is coming around the corner.
This is a tough position to be in, BBG. Ultimately, you lose this round. Economy is not amazing. You've bought down much as you can and lose this.
Is fast. This is faster. They're straight through mid, straight through tiles. Nothing here from XSET to actually recognize this. They did switch Twyfo here into market. He's not playing that floating roll over towards A. We did shoulder peeking. This will tell him that there's not going to be anything A main for quite some time, but the timing could be awkward. If he continues to do this past this mid aggression, past them peeking, then it could be really nice, but he actually has to fall off a little early. Man, they feel stuck. Feels like they wanted to go fast into mid, fast into market, clear up that area, break the alarm bot if it's there, but it's not. And they don't peek past into market to catch Twyfo stuck by himself. Instead, they go back to where we did already spot something, and they have 3 players here.
Right here.
Well, now with not a lot of time left, Bala, they got to make a move. They're backing away. You've got 30 seconds. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go B? The death trap of Astra and Killjoy. All right, here it comes. Poach carrying.
Yep.
Here comes the train. Aaron, they're just getting shot. They're getting stuck. They don't have a lot of time. And Dwightfo, yep, he's just gonna chop them all down right by the logs. They've got the spike, and because they run out of time, still trying to get the frags at least. Maybe find the frag victory. Critical last player standing. He is gonna find one at least, but does get traded. Yes, it does go back and forth. Yes, XSET lose members. But when you're playing like that and you're running out of time, that's gonna play a big factor if you continue to play in that manner.
That's the combination that everybody's excited about when it comes to Astra, or maybe not so excited about. When you have a Nano Swarm and a Gravity Well at the same time, that's why they switched Life over in this situation. BBG had the idea. It was like, we want to go up, break the utility in mid, and then hit towards A, and potentially have the option to wrap back around, but they just didn't get quite deep enough. You can imagine a situation where they end up engaging against the Waifu, they pop the Gravity Well, they pop the Nano Swarms, and all of a sudden that combination is gone. Either case, we've got aggressive B main control here for Aaron. It's just pistols on the other side. There's the Gravity Well here as well. You can pop. Nope, nobody here to help. BCJ was there for a second, but the paranoia is too strong, and he has to fall back to site.
And he does get tagged as well by the recon bolt. Now they're starting to push on in. The shot's good through the smoke. BCJ backside, 43 HP. Oh, Rarkar, the reposition with the tailwind proves too much. Down to just him. Weeded comes in to save the day. 2-8. I'm getting this sinking feeling. We're seeing a little bit of a rerun of the first series earlier today. XSET are in firm control of this first half to start.
They like the setup in B main there. Very basic, but Aaron pushing himself in the corner. BCJ potentially there to help if he can get there fast enough. He just wasn't there, but is able to fall all the way back to site after they get one at least. And then Waifu's there on spawn. Pure is there as well, getting right on top of him, helping BCJ out. And he's good for at least one in the back of site, but more importantly, the time. Waifu's back on A. And this time, Weeded is playing very close to that smoke. It's going to be a full A hit, though. Jet dash on top of Jen, and instantly, that lockdown is popped. Keeps everybody out. Hunter's Fury to cancel it. And they go anyways. Through the smoke, the door closed. Counter ult.
Doable, possible. Unfortunately, not going to tag anybody but the first. Now the action starts to occur in the tree room. Back and forth it goes. Pure and PCJ holding things down. And just like clockwork, XSET, they just have BBG's number. I don't know what it is. I don't know really what's going on. BBG, they got into sight. They got the control and just fell apart.
Well,
they just had players from XSET pinching in on both fronts and it worked out.
I think it took a long time for that lockdown to actually get taken down by the Hunter's Fury. If it was popped insta, maybe they have the time to get past that smoke, but I think they were all concerned about that smoke going down and not being able to get that angle done on the door, and they start to push it. So just the timing ending up costing BBG there. XSET setup on trees just too strong. Weeded, Aaron, all peeking off of each other. Just a meat grinder. This pressure that Weeded puts down on mid, just like we saw in pistol round, mauling into tiles and falling off, makes it so much more difficult for XSET to, or BBG to work up in through mid. They do it very fast this time, kind of calling the bait of Weeded. Trying to figure out where the stars are this time. Nice flash through. Not something we saw the first time. Weeded playing aggressively on that one. Maybe reading the fact that it's always been just poached by himself on his lonesome. At certain times, spots two over towards Cat. Now the game begins. Up towards Cat we go. There's a double nano on tree if they want to push into heaven. Waifu's playing off of that as well. There is a gravity well.
You should run. Enemy kill. Bomb grenade out.
That's good for one. Drop down. Waifu with another. Still, Rarkar trying to push forward. They've got to play around this lockdown. It might not even be necessary. You blink and you miss it. This is a tough match for BBG. You know, this is one of those matches where I'm curious what the tactical pause did. You sat down, you talked about it. What are we doing wrong? What do we got to do to change? Well, now it's a completely different half. You don't have your tac pause. This is the map that you selected. How do BBG bounce back? The key here starts with the pistol. Because if you lose this, XSET are in a firm position to close out the map.
Definitely some ideas from BBG that almost ended up coming through. They're getting a lot more space. But as soon as those retakes come in, as soon as the XSET was ready, so difficult. Oh, 2 gravity wells spent. As they get over top, the first one popped instantly. The second one pulled as well, but Rarkar comes out of it with the tailwind perfectly. So there we go. BBG with the first kill in the pistol round.
Quick hightail over to B. Where BBG are firmly set up, however. Wifo's been kind of holding the door open. Now that they're here, execution going to be challenging with 4. Push comes in, there's the recon bolt. Yep, that's going to make things challenging. Nano Swarm makes it even worse. Weeded does find something to salvage. Aaron will join him. 2v3. The injured Weeded. Aaron just trying to snail underneath Poach. It's a bullet in his brain down to Weeded. Shot from all angles, shots from all sides, and BBG salvaged the pistol. It all started with that A main control, finding that opening pick. Meant this bloodbath that eventually happened on B was going to be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, they walked all the way a little too slow, also a little bit too early where they started executing from. Critical. It'll pop that dart. Makes quick work of one. Not sure about the volley push, but could have worked for another, maybe. In either case, his team was there anyway, so they just destroy it. There's the same stars that we saw last time. Second one to pop. Doesn't matter, actually, they back it off. There's a smoke for them to re-clear aim in as well, though, and I don't think that XSET quite know this. Rarkar is deep, and he has critical behind him. They could fight this with the guns that they have. They could fight this hard.
It can overwhelm here, and that seems to be the idea. You see the star being planted down. They're ready for the swing. BCJ finds one. It's just an absolute bloodbath, though. Critical will stop them all with Rarkar. It was possible that that goes the other way. XSET overwhelmed. They find both players, pick up the weapons upgrade, but you put your faith into Rarkar and Critical, and they will deliver. So 4-10, a little bit more to work with here for BBG, but this is the first gun round for XSET. And this is where their answers back might start to come to fruition. What does their strategy look like when they've got everything that they need and more? And it seems to be quite similar to some of the initial pistol action. You know, a full aggression towards a main, passive play holding off any tiles lurk. He's here. Other
Once
than
again,
Bjor.
he's got the ult on the first gun round. So things still looking up. They're farming that orb for him as well. Once they take this main control, they almost always are backing up, and BBG is playing still very close to it, getting the info later. Last round we saw them put a smoke down to recapture the space.
Deploying drone.
Not giving it up without a fight. Hasn't really been fighting though. Drone through cats. You have Bjor's utility here. I'm not sure if that drone spotted. They're gonna walk on top of it. Turret takes contact. Flash from Poach. They go for it. He gets off the angle. Still in an awkward position. He will stop fighting. It trades down to 34 HP. It really doesn't get any value. Shock dart! 7 HP, but he gets away.
That was close. A little too close for comfort. Will now lurking up through mid. Do they anticipate this? Out with the knife and back with the dismiss. Gets the safety, getting sprayed out. Has to use the leer to get a little bit more space to work with. Pure does eventually end up taking him down. that is the run it back no longer available. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to now hit over towards this B site. Got critical laying in wait, does get taken down by a quick swing from Thwifo. Now the alarm bot back. Smokes are down, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh, there's one player stuck there. Now XSET in firm control. They've got that spike planted up to BBG. The onus is on them to push forward. See the weapons, at least for some Rakar, maybe waiting for that op in the next round. He's gonna need it, as he's already down and out of commission. 3 kills in quick succession, and XSET are at 11.
A slight miss smoke from Markar there, hitting the edge that he has to spend another one on, and also causing his team to try to get out on the other side of that. So well done for XSET. There you go. First round on the board for this other half, and BBG is forcing right back after their bonus, and they need to. Critical's got an Odin over towards B. He's been kind of playing that position right on top of the lane, very common for Silvas, and Thwifo that round was the one who shut him down. This might be a quick approach here, though. All the stars put down instantly over towards B. Force one off with the gravity well weeded. Will, she already has his ult, so he's not going to do anything. Logs clear. There's another smoke. The flash through the window. Ult is out. They're going to take the site, and they've got it if they want it. Yep. Everybody's away. But look quickly for BBG. They're going after that turret on B main. They're going after this flank. Poach is also going to find, yep, that's BCJ. They've got free reign, but they won't even take it. Going back to market.
That makes things a little bit more difficult. Dura finds one, almost swings onto the second. Thwifo, dangerous territory. 2 players towards B main, though. They're anticipating that flank, like you said, but they didn't even opt in for that control. Now Weeded has to push through the smoke, finds one, can't convert. Thwifo just trying to wrap around. One more player on the edge. It's Aaron. Finds the backstab. Still 2 players now remaining, and the spike can be defused. The defuse now starts to come through, but Rakar, like a hawk, spots Aaron. And BBG will secure yet another round. Good initial hit for XSET, but BBG were purposefully playing offsite.
Just get away. Play the full retake. I'd like to see that execute again when time comes around, where they're actually playing on the site when Critical is there. But you also have to be just careful with Critical playing the Odin. Some of those fast approaches could get really punished very fast. Once again, back to the same old that we had in the first couple of rounds. The gravity well on A main. 1 star down bottom mid. When the time comes, they'll smoke. That's going to be instantly.
So
Peeking through. Come on, but Pure is chasing him down. Maybe one more. No, misses on Poach. And he recovers, but they're coming out of A main faster than I think he might expect.
Yep, shots from the back. He's going to be down for the count. Nano Swarms will at least delay the plan for now, and those players get relatively injured. Bjorn goes through his own Nano Swarm. He wants those frags, and he wants them bad. Now, lockdown means the defense have to push back, or they've got to fight for that lockdown. But now, he will retreat. One player almost gets detained. He will. Critical. That's so much time bought.
Yeah. Door's back in the fight, though, but he saved his Hunter's Fury. So when this hit comes, maybe it's a little too late now. Dart, Hunter's Fury, they're all in hell. Oh, no. He's going to drone anyways. I don't think they got the tags. He's not going to spend it. It's too late in the round. They want to push now. There's the spam Critical as well with the Odin. There's still 2 down there. I'm not sure if they know if Bjorn's to go for it. And they don't convert. Waifu and Aaron, 13 HP and 9 HP, and they bring it to match point for their team.
That is crazy. The fact that you've got 3 players in there like a bomb shelter and they survive the absolute onslaught is insane. They had so many tools at BBG's disposal to get rid of those players. And alas, here we are at match point for XSET on BBG's map pick.
Question there for Critical. Not recognizing the time on the lockdown, getting detained himself, losing all that time. And now it's all or nothing. Now for BBG, Poach taking a short info peek. That's where we did get Will peeking down and getting the first kill on that round, but still not able to convert. Nothing did for XSET. Eventually they say they're going to get this round. We'll just stick with what we've been doing so far. Quick poke over towards B. The smoke down in mid. Here comes the drone to re-clear everything and hopefully get up towards Cats and then potentially hit this A site. We've got a long time on this round. but quite shortly we might be moving to map 2.
Might be the case. No ultimates to work with. You have a Hunter's Fury now for BCJ. That can be used to clear the tree room. That's not what even it might be used for. Critical's going to try to stop the push in coming through the arches. Likely, I thought that was definitely a guaranteed frag, but he's going to now back away and join the rest of his team. Bjorn just holding them down. Now it's the opposing Hunter's Fury from BCJ. Finds its mark onto Bjorn, but it's all down to the Sova himself. Bit of a tougher spot. Of course, the weapon's not ideal for BBG, but Markar from the side will pinch him in. 6 more to go for BBG if they want to pack a punch in this map. Might quickly be booking a ticket to that second map, but it's all contingent on XSET performing. The weapons don't look that good this round.
No, they don't. But still, I mean, one of these rounds, 6 in a row, BBG now have to get to even force OT. XSET's definitely got the resolve to close this out. Just how are they going to go about it? They do have Cosmic Divide this time. It is a light buy. Don't expect it too much on this round. Critical still with a judge as well. Although last round ended up buying so much space against BCJ that he's so worried about it his team can swing out. BCJ this time spends his drone over towards A. Wait.
He doesn't get spotted by the drone. No. It goes right over Bjorn. Doesn't matter though, as they still manage to break through onto the A site. Will now pushing forward. He's got to deal with the shotgun, but it's the Phantom upgrade for Pure. Now this Thrifty's coming to fruition for XSET. Down to 3. Recon Bolt, sorry, Shock Dart's over, but now the Recon Bolt for the defense to try to get the intel. Pure. Rifle playing off site. Ults are not available, but it doesn't matter. There's the Shock Dart frag for Pure, but still it's 2v2. Drop down. BCJ finds one. Rifle with another. A thrifty round to dominate and finish with 13-6. XSET send a message. You pick a cent, we take a cent.
That they did. That first half was really good. Second half as well. They just claw their way through eventually. Yeah, I mean, BBG, on that first half, I was definitely saying, okay, maybe there's definitely something. It's not like their ideas are completely falling flat, although the half score definitely might indicate something else. I think there's still some room in the tank, but it's going to be hard. XSET, it's such an uphill battle against them. Every time there's something, there's a response. There's a change. I mean, the one round on defense where they swapped Dwifo over towards Market and just completely wiped them down with that gravity well combo. It's just nuts. So it has to be a little bit more depth from BBG in this next map if they want to take it.
One of the biggest pulses that I've been kind of feeling about this map is that XSET feel confident. You could just feel it. They don't, you know, I wouldn't say they don't respect BBG, but it just feels like it's this overwhelming, like, I'm going because I know I can, and it doesn't matter what utility you have set up. I know that I'm going to get the job done. It's in players like we did. It's in players like Aaron. It's in players like Dwifo, like you mentioned, and some of those combination plays that are just saying, we're confident in our ability to win, and so we're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, for good reason, right? XSET has been here. They've been in Challengers. They've been to Masters, which would be, in this case, the Challengers Finals. So, yeah, they're like, hey, you guys got something to prove to us. We might, you know, everybody doesn't talk about us as much as they should, but you guys got something to prove to us. I don't care if you beat Sentinels. I don't care if that's someone we've struggled against. You have to beat us first to really go and move forward on anything.
Yeah, a big test here for BBG. Will we see the set being repped by the end of the series, or will BBG move along with their newly formed roster? Find out after this.